How do I explain this? This is such a hard thing to explain. How a flywheel works? Welcome back, my name is Monroe, and today I'm going to be breaking down the Concept 2 ski erg. In this video, I'll open up the erg and show you how the flywheel and damper settings work. I'll show you some basic settings for the monitor and how to ride it, how to set up a workout. And of course, at the end of the video, I'll teach you basic techniques for how to ski and how to stay efficient on this machine during your workouts. In order to understand how to use the ski erg, it's important to understand how the machine works and how it measures your effort. The erg part in ski erg means ergometer. An ergometer is just a machine that measures human work. One reason we love the Concept 2 ski erg here at my gym is because it's super low impact and it gives you a really unique stimulus that you can't get from any of the other types of machines out there. The bike erg, the ski erg, and the rower are all flywheel machines. Basically, a flywheel is a mechanical system that stores energy. You can think about the way that a flywheel works like a pedal-operated sewing machine, an old sewing machine, or like a potter's wheel. The way old sewing machines worked was it had a pedal that was attached to a flywheel, and then the flywheel was attached to the actual sewing machine where the needle would go up and down. The flywheel stores the potential energy from the pedal so that the needle can move up and down consistently, even though there isn't consistent power from your foot. As you can see, when you pull the cord, it winds this bungee around the spindle. So when the cords retreat, the bungee will take up the slack to help the handles come back for another stroke. Concept 2 uses a wind dampening system for providing resistance to the machine. This machine is made to mimic the stimulus of Nordic skiing, so you can think about the damper setting like if it's on 10, that's like skiing uphill, 1 or the lower numbers would be like a downhill. Next, I'm going to go over how to set up the monitor and some technique stuff for the ski erg. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Now there's a few different monitors out there depending on the age of the machine. The most common ones are the PM3 and the PM5, but they all work the same way. There are 3 main buttons on the bottom. They are units, display, and menu. The buttons on the side help you select menu items when you're scrolling and trying to select a workout. If you are in the middle of a workout, the buttons on the side will just change the display settings. There's 5 different ways that this machine displays the work that you're doing. You can either cycle through those display modes by hitting the display button on the bottom, or the buttons on the right will select those specific ones. I really like the top display setting that gives you the most information, and I also like the bottom display setting because it is easier to see. It's just big numbers and kind of gives you one thing to focus on. Another one of my favorite display settings is the power curve, and this will display at what point in your stroke are you losing or using too much power. Now you understand how this machine works and how to use the monitor, let's talk about technique. We want to make sure that we can transfer as much power into this flywheel as possible, so we want to maintain tension throughout the whole stroke. Try to think about staying connected through the handle as long as you can. Start with your feet shoulder width apart and about an arm's length away from the ski erg. Reach up to catch the flywheel as high as you can while maintaining your forearm parallel to the tower. Initiate the pull by sending your hips back and down. Finish the stroke by closing down the shoulder and extending your triceps. Sweep back up nice and relaxed in order to catch the flywheel for another stroke. When we're riding the ski erg, we want to think about pacing the stroke. We like to say 1 second drive, 2 second recovery on the ski erg. The stroke rate on the ski erg is going to be higher than the stroke rate on the rower just because of the mechanics of the movement. Now, some of the biggest mistakes we see in the ski erg are not sending the hips back enough and just squatting down. A lot of times this is because you're probably too close to the ski erg to set up. The other issue we see is the opposite, where people don't send their hips down at all and they just send the hips back. And this will really light up your back, it'll tax your hip flexors, and it'll make other movements after this harder. Another big issue people have is catching the flywheel low. When your arms start to get tired, they tend to not want to reach up as high as they can and really get into these lats. And lastly is no pace in the stroke. Again, it is a stroke. So we don't need consistent power. We need an aggressive stroke that will get that flywheel spinning and keep it spinning into the next stroke. And with those few tips, you should be a professional on the ski erg. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know, what do you think about the ski erg? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And what video do you want to see next? Subscribe to my channel for new videos each week, and I'll see you soon.